boys and girls, I'm going to go ahead and go over your science assignment for lesson 19. So I'm going to go into your science course. I'm going to scroll down. We're in matters and mixtures. And I'm going to look at lesson 19, which is called Matter and Mixtures, Concentration of Solutions. I'm going to open that up. You've got your lesson here, and then below your lesson, underneath the submission box, is your attachment for your assignment. So make sure you go through the lesson first. I'll open up the lesson. This is a 12-page lesson where you're going to learn about the amount of solute and solvent and determining the concentration of a solution. And so you'll learn about solids and liquids and how they make up a solution. You're going to learn about the correct terms of solvent and solute and what those mean and how when you put them together, you get a solution. There's a video there that kind of goes through and explains solvents and solutes.
Welcome to.
Then you're going to get into the concentration of solutions. You've got some more vocabulary here like concentration and diluted. You've got some more examples here that show diluted and more concentrated Kool-Aid mixtures or Kool-Aid solutions. Notice the colors and which ones have less solute and which ones have more solute. There's a little lab here that goes over the concentration of solutions. Make sure you read the notes that go along with the video. Then you've got a PhET, which is just an interactive science simulation. Here there's a diagram that shows all of the different parts of this science simulation. So make sure you read these blue boxes because it tells you all the different parts and how to work this science simulation that goes over concentration of solutions. Then here you've got some directions to follow. And when you click here, it'll open up the science simulation. And what you're going to be doing is you've got a water line here at 1/2 of a liter. And you can add drink mix by shaking. And you'll notice that as we add more solute, the solution starts to get darker because the solute, which is the drink mix, is mixing with the solvent, which is your water. And you can measure the concentration by pulling in and dragging this tool, and it measures the concentration. So as we add more of this drink mix, you'll notice the concentration increasing. You can also release water or release the solution by pulling this lever out at the bottom. And you can also add more solvent by pulling the lever at the top. Okay, you can change the solute to different substances. We're focusing on just drink mix. Okay, so we're just focusing on pretending this is like Kool-Aid. And you can remove the solute. So you can start over and kind of play around with it again. You can release the water to bring it back down. So I just want you to kind of play with this, manipulate it, use it, and it kind of goes through here to try some things. So maybe try these 5 steps. And then on your next slide, there are 4 questions that go along with that simulation. So I kind of just showed you how it works once you kind of play with it and follow those 5 steps that we just looked at here. On the next slide, I want you just to answer these 4 questions in your notebook. And then you'll come to the lesson summary and your assignment, which is concentration of solutions. So I'm going to open up the assignment. Remember, the assignment can also be found on Buzz underneath the submission box. Okay, but I just pulled it up right from the lesson. This is a science experiment. You will have a video of this experiment being done in the instructional videos webpage that I have. So you will have access to this experiment so that you can watch the experiment being done just in case you don't have all these materials. So it goes over your little introduction here. You're going to be observing different concentrations of the solution using the same solvent and solute. Here's our question. When adding more solute to a solvent, does the solution become more or less concentrated? You've got your variables. Remember, the test variable is what you are testing. The outcome variable is what are we measuring? What is the outcome? What are we looking for at the end? And the control variable is what is staying the same. Our hypothesis, you've got to fill in the blank. If more solute is added to the solvent, then the solution will become more blank. And this word can come right from the lesson. It's one of your bolded vocabulary words. Then you've got your materials. Again, if you don't have access to these materials, please know that you can watch this experiment being done on my instructional website. And then you've got your procedures. It's 7 steps. If you are going to do the experiment, you'll do these 7 steps. If you're going to watch my video, you'll see in the video these 7 steps being completed. Then you'll fill out your observations. There's 3 rows that you're going to be filling out, 1 for each solution. You're going to make 3 solutions, and you're going to describe or draw, so you can use words or use a picture, the way the solution looked. Are the particles visible? What's the color look like? So again, you can use words or you can draw a picture of what the solution looks like. You are going to be able to taste the solutions. So if you are going to watch the video, you might not be able to have access to the way it tastes. So you'll just have to kind of think to yourself, as the solution becomes more concentrated, what is that taste going to taste like? So think about when you make Kool-Aid. If you put just a little bit of Kool-Aid in your water, what does that taste like? When you put the right amount of Kool-Aid in your water, what does that taste like? When you put way too much Kool-Aid in your water, what does that taste like? Okay, and then I think this solution is diluted or evenly concentrated. How do you know? So in this box right here, you're going to put if you think the solution is diluted or evenly concentrated, and you'll learn about what those terms mean in the lesson. And how do you know if it's diluted or evenly concentrated? You'll put in this chart, this third column. Then you've got 2 questions at the bottom. In comparing the 3 solutions, Julie wrote in her journal that solution 3 is the most concentrated. Is she correct? Explain your answer using the words solute, solvent, concentrated, and diluted. And then the last question, in your own words, explain the difference between a solution that is diluted and a solution that is concentrated. Okay. When you're done with this experiment, you'll go back to Buzz. You'll go to the submission page, which is the same page with the lesson. You'll click on your blue plus button and attach your work. Let me know if you have any questions.